Hi there, this is Kevin from GatheringMagic.com with a wrap-up video for playing on a budget Red Doom. I do like the way this deck performed. I think it's a very fun deck. Anywho, I think this deck does pretty decent against the UI control. UI control probably is a bit of an issue. Other than the Scuttling Doom Engine is, if there's one matchup that the Scuttling Doom Engine really shines against or really makes this deck a lot better, it is going to be the UI control and the Mono Black Devotion type decks, as well as like Jund Planeswalkers. So I do think this is better than the old school pre-M15 Mono Red or Boros Devotion type deck, as Scuttling Doom Engine offers a ton of power. The card that I did think did very well was the Hammer of Purphoros. Again, in that matchup, it's very good. It can get like either Deicide or Banishing Lighted or whatnot, but it's definitely, if it isn't answered, it gets out of control very quickly. And I do like the interactions between the Shrapnel Blast and the tokens from the Hammer of Purphoros. That is an interaction I overlooked. So anywho, I hope you enjoyed this matchup. Again, I apologize for not the variety. Standard is not particularly fun to play right now, as there's basically, I would say, 4 main decks running around, whether it be the Black Devotion based decks, which I even kind of lump in Jund Planeswalkers with the Black Devotion because it's trying to do the exact same thing. It's going to a mid-range strategy where instead of Desecration Demon or Pack Rat winning the game, they just win with Nisa getting out of control. Nisa is kind of like the Pack Rat in that, and they use like an obscene amount of Putrefies, Abrupt Decays, Mizzium Mortars, etc., etc., etc. So it runs very similar to Mono Black. So you have that archetype, and then you have the all-out aggro, whether it be through either straight to the face through Burn or through creatures. And in fact, they're very different to play against. One you want extreme life gain against. The other one you need to stabilize through killing off their creatures. So you can't even really attack it at that angle. And then to make matters worse, you have probably one of the most boring decks ever to exist. I mean, I guess the Miracles deck with Tamiyo was very, very long. Took a long time to kill it, but the one of Aisling or the one of Elspeth, kind of the UI stall deck, is extremely boring to play against. So not enjoying Standard right now. I wish there was really some decks that could break out. I've been trying my hardest to do it on my channel with Rogue Deck Builder, but it just seems that if you are building a deck, it's hard to compete against all 4 of them. So you have to kind of pick your poison of which one you want to have a horrible matchup against, or you just have to play one of those. Now, I'm not much of a Spike player. I'm more of a Johnny player. I play for the enjoyment of Magic the Gathering rather than the competition. You will find me on the competitive scene. I have played in a Pro Tour. I do hit all the PTQs that are local, or within a reasonable driving distance, and the Grand Prix as well. But my number one intentions in Magic the Gathering isn't to win a Pro Tour or to be the best player ever or to play the best deck. It's to have fun and to create creative decks. So right now I'm looking very forward to rotation and mix things up because it's become very stale. There are some cards that are very, I don't know, like Boros Burn especially irks me with having 3 available 4 damage spells in the format that are all reasonably cost, that have huge upsides. Whether it be Warlord Series that gains them back life, whether it be Stoke the Flames can be convoked for cheaper, or just playing 2 mana for 4 damage to the face is just obscene. And then you have, of course, another Lightning Strike for 3 damage, a Skullcrack for 3 damage, and the deck just it is almost as powerful, I would say, as Modern. Or not quite as Legacy, but it's not far off from Legacy Burn either. I mean, they're killing you quite quickly, as you saw in some of those matchups. So anyway, no fun to play against either. Like most of these decks that are in Standard right now are very interactive. There's so many games I've just lost to a first turn Thoughtseize, second turn Mutavault Pack Rat, whether they get your removal and then there's nothing you can do to just pray to top deck into another removal spell for the Pack Rat. So anyway, that is my little vent session. So this deck, though, I do think that it has reasonable matchups against the big 4. So if you want to sleeve this up, it is a budget deck right around the $100 mark. Incredibly fun. I absolutely love the Twinflame. So cool in this deck. If we can get a Nykthos Shiny Nyx online, it can do some amazing stuff. So loved it. I love the Shrapnel Blast. It's the 2 of it. It's a great little curveball to throw in here. The Harness by Forces are fun. I don't know what I'd do as far as what I'd change in here. I think the deck may need some more Anger of Gods in the sideboard. I'm so sick of going up against Rabblemaster Red that hating it out, more the merrier. I mean, you could easily do another Electrickery. Fated Conflagration, I still think is good against Opsodot. It still hits Pelucranos. It still hits Blood Baron Viscopa. It misses Desecration Demon. but I think it does hit enough pertinent targets to include it in the sideboard. Maybe a 3 of isn't the right number. You could go down for another Anger of Gods, but it really is just depending on what you really want to be good against and what you don't think you're going to see. If you don't think you're going to see the U-White or the white-black Devotion deck, then Fated Conflagration is definitely not a must in the sideboard. So hope you again enjoyed this video. It's been a blast to play the Red Doom, and Scuttling Doom Engine definitely is worth its value right now. I suggest picking up the copies while they're still reasonably inexpensive, as core sets, especially this being the last core set, they tend not to be purchased at a very high rate. And you can see if this card actually does impact Standard a lot. You can see what rares in a core set actually did for M14 with Mutavault, where it went crazy. And this kind of feels the same way as Mutavault, as even though it doesn't fit in as many decks as Mutavault, it's still colorless, so it can fit into any deck that wants to get to 6 mana, and has huge upside to it, doing 12 damage a lot of times before it's answered. So again, hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.